Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing us how to play the song called Surrounded, which is also known as Fight My Battles. I'm going to be playing the version of it sung by Michael W. Smith. He sings it in the key of B flat, and so I will be showing us how to play it in the key of B flat. I will also be teaching you how to understand how to read numbers when you see numbers on music instead of chords. So the numbers are referring to the chords that need to be played according to the scale for the key that the music is in. So that probably all sounds very complicated, but it's not really. Okay, so let me try and break it down for you. So if we look, for instance, at an easy key, all right, so a key that you're probably familiar with would be C, or a scale of C. If you're familiar with scales, which don't worry about the term scale if you don't know what that means, but basically this will probably sound very familiar to you because it's, what music is all based on. That is a scale. It's basically using all the notes starting on and ending on the same key or the same tone. So we've got our starting on C and ending on C, and playing all the notes in between is a scale. All right, and the key of C, you'll see it's all just using white notes on the piano. If we were to play in a different key, so for instance starting on a G and ending on a G, the key would be slightly different, the notes will be slightly different. We can't just use all white notes. You'll hear this note didn't quite sound right. So C is actually the only scale or the only key that uses none of these black notes. As soon as we play a different, or we start on a different note and end on the same note, like this, you are going to have a sharp or a flat, which is what these black notes are called. So that note needed to be raised up to the F sharp. Okay, I'm not going to go into hectic theory though right now, we're going to learn a song. But that is basically what you need to understand to then be able to understand why we've got numbers on the music instead of chords. It's basically, if you notice there, a scale has got 8 notes, but the first and the last note are the same. All right, so let's go back to C. C is easier to work with. To start with, number 1 would be C in the key of C. Number 2 would be D. Number 3 would be E. Number 4 would be F. Number 5 would be G, and so on. All right. Now, because we are playing this song in the key of B flat, our number 1 is going to be B flat. And the scale of B flat looks like this: B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G, A, then B flat again. So our notes that we're going to be using is a B flat for number 1, C for number 2, D for number 3, E flat for number 4, F for number 5, G for number 6. We will probably not use this note because 7, you don't really build a chord on 7, but A would be 7, and then B. So the ones you really need to look at, and you'll see in the music, are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so our first chord that we're looking at on the music is a number 1. So that means it's going to be a B flat chord. Okay, B flat, the scale of B flat again was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we build a chord on 1, 3, and 5. So it's a B flat, a D, and an F. I like to play this chord, as you can see, with my thumb, my second finger, and my fourth finger when I'm playing it in the tonic triad, or the root position. I find it awkward to use my 1, 3, 5 fingers. I like to have my little finger free as well to sometimes do a bit of improvising. So it's good to just feel this in this position. It also leads well into the next chord, which is a 4-2/1. Okay, so let's break that down. Number 4 in the B flat scale is going to be an E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So our chord is E flat, which looks like this, but with a little 2 next to it like that, it means that we're going to be playing the second degree. Actually is referring to the F instead of or added to the chord, all right? In this case, we will be adding it to the chord. So you will be playing a chord with these 4 notes, the E flat with these 4 notes. Actually is E flat, F, G, and B flat. Probably not in this shape though, but we'll break that down now. Okay, and then the left hand for the whole first part of the song is just playing a B flat. So you could play B flat here as your bottom note, okay? So it would sound something like, okay, B flat will sound something like this, and then E flat would be here. Okay, you can already kind of hear that sounds nice, but very boring. Okay, so I'm going to be showing you how to make it look a little bit or sound a bit better than that. All right, so our melody in this song is starting here actually. Okay, this is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. Right. So it's quite low, and I don't really particularly like playing it down here. I feel like our right hand should generally be above middle C. So we're going to play it up here. So it's going to be more like, okay, you can play the melody, you can leave the melody out. I will be playing the melody, so I will show you how, but we're going to be playing a chord first anyway. So, all right, so let's start with our right hand. The right hand needs to be playing B flat because the chord is number 1, and we've got the key of B flat. All right, so B flat would normally be here. Well, it is here, but it can be played in many different positions up the piano. This is a tonic triad, or a root position of the chord, where you've got the B flat on the bottom, D in the middle, and F on the top. All right, but you actually want in this song to have it in a position where your B flat is going to be at the top. Okay, so we're inverting the chord so that now our D is on the bottom, F in the middle, and a B flat on the top. The reason why I'm doing this is because the melody is here. Okay, and I think it fits well there. It's actually probably sung lower, more like down here, but as soon as you start building chords below middle C, it starts sounding a little muddy, so it's better to have it up above middle C with your right hand. You could alternatively play your B flat in other positions in the song, it would be fine, but I am going to show you just a simple way of playing it that sounds nice. Okay, so our right hand is going to be playing just the B flat chord like this for the first part. You can add the melody if you want to. It would sound like this. So as you can see, the chord comes on fight. So the melody is actually coming before the first beat. So you might start your song, like for instance, with a B flat chord like this, so that the person who's singing can hear where to start, but your actual chord would only come in on fight. This is how I fight my battles. Okay, so you're going to be counting like a 1, 2, 3, kind of like that. And when you get to battles, you're going to be changing just after battles to the 4-2/1 chord, which number 4 in this key of B flat is going to be an E flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you build your chord there, E flat, but it says 4, 2, so we're going to be adding this number 2 of the chord. So chord is normally 1, 3, and 5. We're adding number 2, which is an F here. Okay. We're not going to play it all like this though. We're just going to leave that third one out. The left hand here is actually going to do the third. Okay, so you can just play it like this. So we're playing an E flat, an F, and a B flat at the top. So if you'll notice, your B flat chord was with the D at the bottom with your thumb. These two fingers, F and B flat, are going to stay the same. You're just going to move your thumb up to the E flat. So it would sound essentially like this. All right, so it's fairly basic. It's just moving between those two chords. Let me move on to the left hand. Okay, so our left hand is going to be playing the bass note. So usually it's just one note. Doesn't play a whole chord. But for the sake of, what can I say? For the sake of making it sound fuller and nicer, I'm going to be adding an F down here. So sometimes it's nice to use the 1 and the 5 of the chord. Never the 3 as well though. As soon as you put the third one in there as well, it sounds muddy. It's the best way of explaining it. The best way of visualizing what I'm thinking it sounds like. This sounds cleaner. This sound starts sounding muddy. Okay, so a clean sound, even cleaner sound would just be doubling your B flat at the bottom. So would you having it like this, which is what I would do if I was a very beginner, or even just one note. Okay, that would be fine. But if you're wanting to make it sound a little nicer, and getting some other ideas of how to make the chords fuller and that, add your F. So B flat and F. Okay. This is also going to be useful with the next chord. So when we move to a E flat 2 chord here, we still need to have the 1 in the bass. So the chord, the number or the chord that's written on the right hand side of that / is referring to your left hand. Okay, so it's going to be a B flat in the bass, but because it's now an E flat chord that we're playing with it, we're not going to keep our F here. We're going to just move our thumb to G, which is part of the E flat chord, and you'll see we're not playing it up here. We're not playing our G up here, we moved it. So it's actually nice to add it down here. If you listen, it sounds like now an E flat chord with just a B on the bottom. We've just put our G down here instead of up here. So spread it out and made it sound cleaner. Left hand only, it's just going to play for 4 counts and then this for 4 counts. So it would sound something like this. Not singing because that's not my strength, and so I'm playing the melody of the song with my right hand, which you can do and add the chord in. You can completely leave it out if you want to as well. It's fine. So without the melody, but with hands together, it would look like this. Very basically, these 2 for 4 counts, and then moving just your 2 thumbs. This one goes down, this one comes up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, move your thumbs. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving your thumbs only. Okay, so that's a great way to start learning how to play this song. When you are comfortable getting these thumbs to move, even just that at the beginning, can be very tricky. Okay, so don't beat yourself up if that's tricky. It's getting both hands to work together, and it's not always easy. Best to start with just one hand, making sure it can move on the beat, and the other hand making sure it can move on the beat, and then adding them and then doing it together. Okay, and once you've passed that level, then you can start adding other things and adding rhythm. All right, so trying to break down now what I did now. Very simply, I'm basically playing the chord on the first two beats, and then I'm doing some improvisation on the last two. So my right hand, without the melody now, you would see I'm playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, try and slow that down a bit so you can see more or less what I'm doing, but I never do it the same twice, I don't think. It's more of a heart movement than a head movement. The head is telling me what chord to play, but the improvisation comes more from the heart, and it's more like just feeling the music. So even if you are just playing, just getting yourself to just play on the first two beats the chord. So once you've got your hands together, you're playing 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm pretty much always skipping the third beat and maybe adding 1 or 2 notes of the chord on the off beats, which would be the and beat. So when you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, add an and in there. So you're essentially making it into 8 beats, but you're saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Yeah, it's very difficult for me to break it down and play and explain what I'm doing at the same time. But basically it's just fiddling on the chords, all right? And your left hand can also do it. So when you're playing 1, 2, and 3, 4, for instance, 1, 2, and 3, 4 would be a good place to start. Just letting your thumb play on that and beat, repeating that note there. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, and 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 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and... All right. So I hope that has helped. If you want me to explain further exactly what my hands are doing, I could definitely make like a lead sheet with notes of the exact things, but I'm telling you, it's probably better not to overthink it. Try just to feel it. Try and think of the rhythm more as a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and getting emphasis on your and beats sometimes. The first beat's important, 1, and maybe the second beat, but then after that it's not so important. Okay, your first and second beat are maybe important, and then maybe your fourth beat. It's where I also tend to play the chord in 4 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. So I tend to play on my 1, 2 and 4. And there in the middle, it's a bit of fiddling around. Okay. Okay, so we've come to the end of part 1 of this tutorial. Please subscribe so you don't miss the next one.